But first, we have to win a historic victory for the Republican Party this November. Among our highest priorities must be to end the nightmare Joe Biden and congressional Democrats have created on our southern border, a nightmare. Remember this, we had the strongest, best border we ever had 2 years ago. Now we have the worst border. I believe it's worse than any border anywhere in the world, because no third world country would let people come into their country the way we have. Right here in Pennsylvania last year, 2 illegal alien criminals allegedly brutalized and bludgeoned a man to death on a busy street corner. In Chester County, an illegal alien stands accused of grabbing a 33-year-old woman by the hair, pulling her down and around the ground, and stabbing her to death in front of her 7-year-old daughter and her 3-year-old son. And just a few weeks ago, an illegal alien murderer was charged with shooting to death a 76-year-old man from Pennsylvania. He took a walk every morning, and this guy killed him for no reason whatsoever. Didn't know him, didn't do anything, just wanted to kill him. The radical Democrat Congress has turned our country into one giant sanctuary for dangerous criminal aliens. We protect all of the criminals. We don't protect our own people. In fact, they raid our people. In the Republican Party, we believe our country should be a sanctuary for law-abiding citizens who love America. Right? If we're going to make America great again, our first task is to make America safe again. We have to have a safe country. We have to have a safe country. And you know, I told you before I love the fields, but I like these better because the air conditioning system. But this air conditioning is not working too well. It's about 100 degrees up here. I'm sweating like a dog, but I'll call Dr. Oz. Dr. Oz, am I okay, doctor? Am I okay? He says yes. He says yes. You know, I was on a show years ago, and Dr. Oz, I'm going to introduce him in a second, but I was on a show years ago, and he did like an examination of me. I don't know what the hell I did the show for. I wasn't like even a politician at that point. But he did an examination, and the word said, he's extremely healthy, really a very, very fine, fit man, but he should lose 20 or 25 pounds. I was so angry I didn't speak to him for years. Remember that? He said he was great, but he could lose a couple of pounds. He's great. He's going to be great. Under Democrat control, the streets of our great cities are drenched in the blood of innocent victims. Much of this crime is caused by drug dealers who, during the course of their lives, will kill an average of 500 American citizens. Every drug dealer is responsible, and that doesn't include what they've done to families of people that haven't died, but families that are just devastated by what happened to their children and to themselves. Think of it, 500 people, the average drug dealer. I'm calling for the death penalty for drug dealers, which will, upon its passage, reduce drug distribution in our country on day one by 75%. No more blue ribbon committees telling us what to do, you know. I was setting them up in the White House. There's a blue ribbon committee headed by socialites. And they just want, I mean, look, they're very nice people, but they just want a little publicity for themselves. They can't deal with the kind of killers that we're talking about. We want the death penalty for drug dealers, and you will save millions of lives. You know, we're going to lose 250,000 people, I think, this year. You know, just to go off for a second, does anybody mind that I do that? No? Is there any better place to be on a beautiful Saturday evening than a Trump rally? I don't think so. Trump rally. But just to go for a second, so, you know, I got to know a lot of the foreign leaders, and let me tell you, unlike our leader, they're at the top of their game. These are like central casting. There's nobody that could play the role in Hollywood. All of Hollywood, nobody can play the role of President Xi of China. Nobody could play the role. He's a fierce person. Putin, fierce. They're smart. You know, a lot of times I'll say somebody's smart, and the fake news will go, he called President Xi smart. He rules with an iron fist 1.5 billion people. Yeah, I'd say he's smart. Wouldn't you say he's smart? So I'm with President Xi, and I got along with him very well. I mean, once COVID came, it was just so, but we made a great trade deal with him, helped our farmers, helped our manufacturers. But I'm with him, and I really had a great relationship with him. And then I asked him a question. I said, President, he's president for life, by the way. So I call him King. I say, King. He said, but I am not king. I said, you are to me. You're president for life. It's the same thing. He will be very soon. You know, they're having another. By the way, do you notice a lot of ships are circling Taiwan? That wouldn't have happened either, by the way. But I said, President, could I ask you a very simple question? Do you have a drug problem? He looked at me like, what's wrong with that? No, of course not. He goes, no. He's like, what the hell stupid question is that? No. I said, you don't have a drug problem with 1.5 billion people. His big problem is they make the drugs, they send them into our country. That's their problem. That would have been their problem, and he was stopping it too. But now they're sending the fentanyl in at numbers that you wouldn't believe. Wouldn't believe it. Pouring through that porous border at numbers you wouldn't believe. I had him very close to stopped. He couldn't do it. I told him he can't do it. So, President, you don't have a drug problem. But why don't you have a drug problem? We have quick trial. I said, what is a quick trial? We immediately catch the drug dealer. We give him quick trial. And if he is guilty, which I would say probably they're batting, would you say, Oz, would you say they're about batting 100% or only 99? If the drug dealer is guilty, he is immediately executed. So we have no drug problem in China. And they have other countries like that, too, Singapore, other countries. And if you do that, you know, I've told this, and it's a hard thing to say, because calling for the death penalty is tough. But think of it. They kill 500 people during a lifetime, and I think it's much worse than that. I think that's only what we hear about. It would stop. If you didn't get it down 75, 80, 90% from day one, I'd be surprised. And these committees that they set up, it's laughable. It's a horrible thing. We would solve that problem so fast, and I'm calling on Republicans and Democrats immediately to get to Washington and institute the death penalty for drug dealers. You will no longer have a problem.